North Korea is one of the most closed and mysterious countries in the world. Even the everyday life of the locals has always raised questions. Where do ordinary people live? How do they work? And most importantly, what and where do they eat? We will tell you about the peculiarities of local dining, the wild details of national dishes, and in the end, we will show you how the famous Korean dog stew is prepared and why it is so beloved by the locals. Dining in North Korea. There is an interesting feature in public dining in North Korea which is characteristic of almost all countries with a communist regime. Starting from kindergartens to universities, they promote collective food consumption. This means that children and adults eat together in schools, factories, plants, military units, and even in university campuses. This system is familiar to residents of the post-Soviet space. Seasonal products are selected and a strict menu is planned, often for at least a week. It might lack extravagance, but it can feed a larger number of people. Nevertheless, for special occasions like family celebrations and holidays, residents of Pyongyang can afford to visit a few restaurants, primarily catering to locals rather than foreigners. One of these popular restaurants in the capital is Onagwan, located by the Taedong River. It is known for its variety of Korean dishes, especially the Pyongyang Naengmyeon. The place is always crowded, as if every day is a celebration, although the country is often portrayed as a very austere place. In the capital, you can also find plenty of showcase establishments where tourists are taken under the supervision of party guides, offering food for every taste. Kim Jong-un intentionally gathered chefs from around the world to ensure that the country's guests would have an impression of abundance and the opportunity to choose food to their liking. There's pizza and burgers, but an ordinary Korean wouldn't even be allowed inside such establishments, not to mention the cost of food there. Locals prefer to dine in small cafeterias and roadside stalls. You won't find them in the city center. These local eateries are scattered around the outskirts and are small, dimly lit rooms with a few tables occupied by visitors. Family cafes are quite popular, although many operate underground. But what do Koreans prefer to eat? We'll show you, from the most delicious dishes to some rather extravagant snacks. Pyongyang onban. Let's start our story with the unique Pyongyang onban. This popular dish is a kind of symbol of Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea. It consists of airy rice topped with boiled chicken fillet and sliced dried mushrooms, sometimes with added onions and garlic. When served, the dish is generously drizzled with aromatic hot broth and garnished with sliced eggs and a green bean pancake. The origin story of this popular North Korean delicacy claims that it was created quite by accident. A woman took all the available ingredients from her refrigerator and placed them on a plate, which she then delivered to her husband, who was in prison. Today, Pyongyang onban is a must-have dish at North Korean official receptions and festive events. Not impressed yet? Then let's move on to a rather unusual local dish. Barbecue with shellfish. Our next stop on the menu is barbecue with shellfish. This dish is very popular on the western coast of North Korea and consists of just two main ingredients. But what ingredients? To prepare this delicacy, fresh shellfish caught by local fishermen are taken and doused in gasoline. The shellfish are placed on a large flat concrete slab, and then they are generously drenched with the fuel. A single match strike, and the dish is ready. It is worth noting that visually this spectacle is quite impressive, and according to many tourists, the finished shellfish tastes just as good as exquisite French seafood. The locals usually grill dozens of shellfish at once on a homemade grill and serve them with the popular Korean alcoholic beverage soju, which not only enhances the flavor but also helps cleanse harmful bacteria and residual gasoline. But believe me, this is not the most extravagant thing you can try in North Korea. We'll try to surprise you even more in the next segment. Dububap. Dububap or Dububap, a tofu rice delicacy, is a quick and popular snack in North Korea. In just 10 minutes, you can prepare a complete dish consisting of fried tofu pieces filled with fragrant rice. Each piece is crowned with spicy chili sauce and sometimes finely chopped smoked vegetables. Bull's tail aspic. In North Korean reality, meat is a true luxury that many can only afford on rare state holidays. The average Korean can buy chicken and pork, but not often, perhaps once or twice a year. Beef in North Korea is considered a rarity, available only to those in the upper middle class or in party positions. Therefore, discussing popular Korean dishes like bulgogi and local variations of barbecue is almost pointless, because their main consumers are usually tourists and party members. However, local residents get hold of parts of the bull which many consider unfit for consumption, such as the tail and shank. Despite the apparent modesty of such products, ordinary Koreans have learned to create impressive dishes, among which bull's tail aspic stands out. The process of making bull's tail aspic begins with hours of boiling the pieces until the meat becomes tender. It is then separated from the bones, cut into small pieces, and various vegetables and seasonings are added. In the end, the mixture is covered with its own broth, rich in natural gelatin, and cooled. This dish has won the hearts of almost every North Korean citizen and has become a delicacy in the national cuisine. Koryo Burger. The Koryo Burger is the only dish currently served on Air Koryo flights, the state-owned North Korean airline. This bun has gained worldwide fame due to stories about its terrible taste and the mysterious origin of the meat, which is often jokingly attributed to our four-legged friends. In-flight food ratings put Air Koryo at the bottom. But those who have actually tried the Koryo Burger have not found it extraordinarily awful. Sparse pieces of purple cabbage, a stale bun, and a slice of processed cheese. All this on an absolutely tasteless patty with a strange watery red sauce. This delight is served cold, accompanied by propagandistic war films playing in the airplane's cabin. To an unprepared tourist accustomed to a warm Big Mac, it makes an unforgettable impression. Kimchi. And what is a North Korean menu without kimchi? In North Korea, it accompanies every meal. It is the most famous Korean side dish, although the locals consider it so important that it is often seen as a standalone dish. In reality, the foundation of kimchi is fermented vegetables enriched with various flavor and aromatic additives like garlic, ginger, fish sauce, or spicy chili pepper. There are countless kimchi recipes varying by region and season. However, the most common type is kimchi made from napa cabbage. It is truly a versatile dish that can be served as a side dish, a condiment, or used as an ingredient in many national and traditional Korean dishes. The significance of kimchi to Korean cuisine is underscored by UNESCO's inclusion of it in the list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Bindae-tteok and Mandu-kuk. Continuing our journey through the treasures of North Korean cuisine, let's explore Bindae-tteok and Mandu-kuk. No, these aren't characters from a fantasy game, but full-fledged local dishes. Bindae-tteok is a savory pancake made from mung beans, but this dish can feature kimchi, various vegetables, rice, ground pork, and many other ingredients. The most delicious Bindae-tteok is straight out of the frying pan, while it's still crispy and warm. It's a treat that many Koreans enjoy in the morning, afternoon, and evening, often paired with various spicy sauces. Mandu-kuk, on the other hand, is a classic Korean soup where the stars are dumplings known as mandu. The filling for mandu can vary depending on the region and individual preferences, including various vegetables and types of meat like chicken or pork. The dough is thinner and more delicate than in the European and American counterparts. They can be eaten separately from the broth, pan-fried or deep-fried. Bibimbap. Now let's move on to bibimbap. In many East and Southeast Asian countries, rice is a staple food, but not in North Korea. There, rice is considered a delicacy available to only a few. Bibimbap is a legendary Korean dish known worldwide. However, in South Korea, it's part of everyday meals, while in North Korea, it's a real treat for the average worker. Bibimbap consists of steamed rice topped with various sliced vegetables and the famous spicy Korean paste gochujang. Sometimes thinly sliced pieces of chicken or pork are added as the meat component. The dish is beautifully presented, and before consumption, all the ingredients are thoroughly mixed together. Sundae Sausage. Another unique dish in North Korean cuisine that is fairly well known worldwide is Sundae Sausage. Essentially, it's a traditional blood sausage made from rice, pork blood, fermented soybean paste, and kimchi. In some regional variations, you can even find seafood like squid or fish. Sundae is traditionally steamed and often enjoyed as a standalone dish. Furthermore, it's frequently used as an additional ingredient in many other Korean dishes. The sausage is popular as a street food in North Korea and is often sold with buns and vegetable fillings. Cephalopod Soup. Let's talk about another hot dish, Cephalopod Soup. You can't pass through traditional North Korean culinary delicacies without giving attention to this soup known as sangguk. This appetizing North Korean dish consists of tender slices of flathead gray mullet cooked in a fragrant broth seasoned with black pepper and soy sauce. During the preparation of the soup, garlic and ginger are added to the dish, and when serving, it's garnished with fresh herbs, typically green onions or cilantro. However, recipes can vary from family to family, so different versions of this soup can be found. This soup plays a significant role in North Korean culture, and it has been tried by almost everyone returning from Pyongyang. And now let's talk about local alcohol, as it's commonly believed that people in North Korea don't know how to unwind. Taedongang Beer. Taedongang Beer is a legendary local beverage named after the river that flows through Pyongyang. According to legend, it was first brewed by the order of the great leader Kim Jong-il, who called for the creation of a local beer that could rival foreign counterparts. These gave rise to various varieties of Taedongang. Currently, 3 types are produced: light, strong, and dark, simple yet of excellent quality. Confirmation that this beer is genuinely good can be found even among tourists. In fact, there was an article on the BBC about how North Korea brews a real and tasty hoppy beverage, which is quite an accomplishment considering that Western media rarely praises North Korea, even for small matters. Raengmyeon. Another remarkable North Korean dish that deserves mention is Raengmyeon, also known as Korean cold noodles. It's popular in South Korea as well, where it's called naengmyeon. This dish falls into the category of gaksu, which refers to special Korean noodle delicacies typically based on buckwheat noodles. Raengmyeon comes in 2 variations: as a soup with buckwheat noodles in a refreshing broth, or as cold noodles without broth but with spicy Korean paste. Both versions of this dish can include delicate cucumber slices, pickled daikon, Korean pear, eggs, and sometimes meat such as pork or chicken. To add zest to this dish, it's seasoned with mustard sauce and vinegar. Raengmyeon is the perfect choice for the summer months, but of course you can enjoy it any time of the year. This dish is popular among North Korean locals as well as the few foreign tourists. Raengmyeon not only delights foodies, awakening their appetites, but also serves as a cultural symbol uniting the 2 neighboring countries separated by barriers, South and North Korea. Tteok. With the Lunar New Year, Koreans not only savor celebratory soups but also treat themselves to special rice cakes in the form of thin cylinders. During Chuseok, the harvest festival, these cakes can include chestnuts, sesame seeds, and soybeans in their fillings. In the past, preparing these cakes was a family affair, and each family member had to eat a certain amount corresponding to their age. At a banquet celebrating one of the most important events in a Korean's life, a wedding, the tteok cakes would be brought by the bride's family. And for a family celebration, the dough had to be made by the father. In terms of texture, tteok closely resembles European dumplings, just slightly fluffier. Dog meat soup. Now, there's no escaping the iconic culinary symbol of North and South Korea, the sweet, meaty dog soup. This dish has quite a grim reputation, and you probably know why. The main ingredient is the meat of specific dog breeds that are raised for slaughter. Historically, this soup originated in what is now North Korea, but soon became popular across Asia. In different countries, this soup goes by different names, but in North Korea, it's known as cake janguk. And believe it or not, this soup is far from being cheap. Due to its price, most local residents can only afford it once or twice a year. Furthermore, dog meat was never part of daily meals. It was consumed seasonally or for medicinal purposes, as raising chickens, for example, was far more cost-effective. However, it can be said that the dog meat soup is becoming a dying dish today, as most young Koreans have a highly negative view of it. For gourmets worldwide, the most common question remains, what does it taste like? If we exclude the spicy and complex spiciness added by the spices, the taste of the meat itself is quite similar to lamb. It has a tender texture and no off-putting notes if you don't know its origin. Conclusion. As you can understand, in terms of their culinary preferences, North and South Korea share many similarities due to their common culture and history. Many dishes overlap, but the influence of North Korea's economic struggles and societal isolation does have its impact. Thanks for watching.